Well, hello, guys. We're going to try this again. We're going to do notes where I give you the notes. So you need your notebook. So if you're watching this on Edpuzzle, go get your notebook first and let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about calculating interest. There's two types of interest. There's compound and there's simple. We're going to start with simple and then we'll move to compound. It's just a formula. You're just filling in a formula. So let's talk about why a savings account is better than a piggy bank. A savings account earns interest. So you actually earn money on your money, okay? Where in a piggy bank, you do not earn interest, okay? But on the flip side, a piggy bank, you have your money at home. So you have easy access. But if it's in a bank, it's a little bit more difficult. A little more difficult to get to your money. So let's first talk about what this simple interest is and how much you could make. Simple interest is interest earned only on the principal. Okay, that's a big word. Principal, or the original amount deposited in the account. It's earned over a period of time and written as a percentage. So here's the formula. I equals PRT. I is the interest. So that's how much you make. P is that principal. That's the initial amount. So initial amount. R is the rate. And that's the percent rate. But remember, it needs to be as a decimal because we do not think of percent as a number. Percent is not the number. Percent is a part of a whole. Okay, so you need to think of it as the decimal. And T is the time. How long is it sitting in there? So let's take a look at this. If you deposit $900 for 20 years, again, we're just using this formula. I equals PRT. So what's our original amount? We're going to learn the interest. I equals P, which is 900. R is the rate, interest rate, 0.04. And T, remember, is the time, 20 years. Oh, by the way, the time is in years. You don't really get to that later, but our time is, let me erase this. Time is in years. Okay. So for 20 years, we're just going to go times 20. There we go. So if we just multiply that out, you can go ahead and use a calculator. I'm going to use my calculator right here. 900 times 0.04 times 20 would equal $720. Okay. Now, how much will I have in the account now? Well, I have to add those two together. That's pretty good interest there. Look at that. Just for leaving $900 in an account for 20 years, now I have 900 plus 720. I have $1,620. It's like someone just gave you $720. That's kind of cool, right? One of the financial planners that I really listen to is Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey says that if you put in, and if I was with you guys, I would be sharing this. Dave Ramsey, Saved to Be a Millionaire. And he says that if you invest, how much is it a month? I want to say it's just like 100 or 200 a month for so many years. Then you will be a millionaire after 40 years. Oh, it's 1,000. No, 1,000 in your starter. Oh, here it is. Invest 100 a month for 40 years and you'll be a millionaire. Isn't that kind of cool? So if you just save, and I know 40 years seems like forever from now, but if you just saved 100 a month starting right now, 40 years from now, you won't be that old. You'll be my age, younger than me, and you will be a millionaire. That's kind of cool. So I always like to show that to my students. So let's look at another investment. We're going to put $5,600. That's our principal. Our rate, because we're just doing this right here, is 0.03. And we're going to do it for 45 years. So let's do that on the calculator. 5,600 plus 0.03, or not plus, 5,600 times 0.03 times 45 equals, so in interest, you will have earned more money in interest than you even invested, 7,560. So you earn more than you even invested. And then, so if you add that together plus the 5,600, so 7,560 plus 5,600, you will have $13,160. So it pays to do interest. Okay, I want you to try this one on your own. So try it on your own and let's see what you get. First, set up the problem. So that's 400 because, oh, wait. No, wait. This is a sneaky one. Let's go over this again. Reese made a deposit into her account that earns 8%. I'm not going to have you do this one on your own. Interest equals PRT. We got to fill in what we know. Reese made a deposit. We don't know what the deposit is. See, we don't know the initial deposit. P. The rate is right here, 0.08. And the time was 8 years. 8 years. And she earned 400 in interest. That was a sneaky one, huh? 400 in interest. Okay. So all we did was we filled in what we knew. We knew the interest. We don't know the principal, the initial amount. We know the rate. We know the time. So then we just work this out. We go 0.08 times 8. That's going to equal 0.64 times P equals 400. Then we're going to divide by 0.64. Just solving an equation. Divide by 0.64. So 400 divided by 0.64. Her initial deposit would have been $625. That's her initial deposit. That was a tricky one. Okay, this one's tricky too. Interest equals PRT. What do you know? You know that the initial deposit. So we can fill that one in, right? You don't know the rate. We don't know the rate, so we're going to leave R. Do we know how many years? Yes, 11. Do we know what she earned in interest? Yes, 484. Okay, I'm going to let you guys figure that one out. You should be able to get this. And then the answer is the rate ends up being 0.08, which what percent is that? 8%. Okay. Now, compound interest is a little bit different. Okay. So, compound interest is earned both on the principal, plus any previously earned interest. Think of it as interest on the interest. Okay. The formula is a little bit different. You don't have to memorize these formulas. They're on your formula chart. Okay. A, though, that stands for account balance. Now, one way I remember what A is I call it all together. All together. It's not just the interest you earned. Remember up here, we had to do the interest and then we had to add the interest with the initial amount to get the total, the all together. Well, when you use this formula, it gives you the all together. Okay. You're not just finding out the interest, you're finding out the initial and everything together. So P is still principal. Oh, I spelled principal wrong up here. Principal initial amount. R is the rate. And T is the time. Okay. So, unlike simple interest formula, notice that the compound interest formula gives you the total value. Because it starts with A, though, I like to say all together. Okay. So, I'm going to do this first one, then I'm going to have you do the second one. Again, we're just using this formula. A $400 deposit, so 400 is our P, times 1 plus our rate is 0.02, and then 7 years. And the 7, okay, I kind of wrote it wrong. Let me scoot it over. So 400 times 1 plus 0.02 to the 7th power. That's going to equal our all together. It's actually going to equal our total value. Okay. So when I put it in the calculator, I'm going to put 1 plus 0.02. Okay. 1 plus 0.02. Obviously, we know that equals 1.02 to the 7th. That's not times 7. It's 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02. You have to do it 7 times. If you don't know how to do the little caret on the calculator, so if you're using one of the black calculators, I'll show you how to do this. You're going to go 1.02. Then you're going to pick this little caret. I'm hoping you can see this. It's called a caret. Oh, I have to put it up here. It has like an up arrow. It's right there. See that right there? You push that caret, that little going up, and you put the number 7. And then that will give you, when I push that, that's going to give me the number 1.15. And then we're going to go times 400. So times 400 equals. So our altogether amount, our total value is 459.47. Okay, now to find the interest, I just subtract the initial amount. So I take the 459.47 and subtract the initial amount, and I earned $59.47 in interest. Okay? So I want you to try the next one on your own. Again, use your A equals P1 plus R, and then to the time. You try it on your own first. Okay, so let me show you how I would have done this. 9,000 times 1 plus 0.06. So let me show you 1 plus 0.06. So you should know that's 1.06 times, or to the 4th power. So again, if you're getting confused on this, I'm going to show you this again. I would do 1.06, that caret button. It's right there. It's like, it's underneath the clear. Underneath the clear, it's right there. You push that button, and then you put in a 4. And then you go times 9,000. And my total amount is 11362.29. Now, how much was that in interest? I would take 11362.29 minus my 9,000, and I would get 2362.29 is how much that was in interest. Okay, we did it. Let's try the last one completely on your own. Completely on your own. And hopefully you got total value 8757.71, and your interest is 7157.71. Okay, so you can see here, look up here, because I just kind of want you to see this. It took us 45 years to make more than we initially deposited. When you have it compound interest, it only took 15 years to get way more than what we deposited. Do you see how that works? Because it compounds faster. Well, plus the interest rate was higher. Okay, now it's time for you to practice. Here is your practice. How am I going to make sure that you did this? Well, first you got to look at it. And this says simple interest. So you're going to use the simple formula. This says, where does it say simple? So you're going to use the simple formula. This one says compound. So you're going to use the compound formula. Okay? You don't have to do problems 4 or 5, but I will be, nope, you know what? I want you to work on these, because if I don't have you put the answer in, you're not going to do it. So it's only 3 problems to work on your own. And then I'm going to put the answer here. So if you end up having to go back through this video again, you do. So this answer So go ahead and work this one on your own. And the answer you should have gotten, remember, it's asking how much is it worth after. So you have to take that interest and add, or the principal, and add it to the interest. So you should get 2,800 is how much that account is worth. So they earned $800 in interest. Okay, so this next one, you try it. And on this one, remember, on your formula, you're looking for P. P equals. So you should have gotten 2,222. That's a lot of twos. And now your last one. And I don't think I'm going to give you the answer to the last one. I'll just have it where you have to calculate it. And remember, you're finding the interest. So you'll take the all together and subtract the initial. And I'm just going to see if you can get it on your own. Okay, thanks.